Welcome in Wednesday edition Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio here with you this morning. We will talk 2023 schedule release. We knew yesterday, or actually known for a while, who the Rebels will be playing, but we did not have dates on that. So we'll go through that, look at each week of the season from an SEC perspective, and then we'll finally talk some NFL. Kind of meant to do it yesterday, but we had some college topics to run through. Talked a lot about Lane Kiffin, talked about some different things, including TV times for longer than we anticipated. So that and more coming up on today's show, a show brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. Remember, head on in, whether it's in town this weekend or every single day if you live here, and take advantage of them giving away an official Ole Miss game day football jersey. They're doing one for each home game. That includes Tulsa at 3 o'clock this Saturday. That is on SEC Network, I guess, is the station for that. So take advantage of that with the Oxford Exxon, and also Red Beans and Rice is your lunch special today. That is coming with any size fountain drink, bread, or you can stop in. Plenty of things in the hot case and more there with the Blue Sky in Oxford, and coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
Well, we are Clark. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900's that number. Call it. Ask for our friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around, or you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guests join on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline. Rafters Music and Food on the Square in Oxford. Great place to coming in this weekend, next weekend. Or if you're just hanging around, stop by Rafters, grab a burger, a beer, po' boy, appetizers. Gets pretty college kiddie late in the evenings, but before that, good place to stop in, make it a part of your weekend. A lot of stuff up at the network. The Troy Brown Show was published yesterday. That's brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different name, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or that area, call Southern 662-429-4429. The Mason Brooks Show is still up. If you haven't checked that out, it's brought to you by The Rogue, 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. And then also the Davison Igbenosin Show is up as well. It's brought to you by the College Corner, your one-stop Rebel shop, 2 locations in the Jackson area. Also collegecornerstore.com, plus you can find them on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm also currently loading Brian Rippey's latest podcast. It is with Ryan Buchanan, as they do it each week. So former Ole Miss quarterback discussing Jackson Dart's performance, what's next out of him, and then more Hugh Freeze story time as well in Brian's podcast today. So that will be up, I guess technically like right now, but I need to pay some bills in it in a minute. So that also up on the network. Maybe you're into the college kiddie thing. You could also go late at night Rafters if that's your thing. You can go hang out with you could go hang out with the more more Bedlam time that would be possible.
But if you're just going to hang out and have a beer, that's typically not the ideal time and place. I think I don't know. I don't go out here, but I've heard there's kind of a line of demarcation.
After a certain point, it becomes their town. Go ahead and
it's your town till
which
about
is cool. Yeah,
8:30 or 9, and then things start to transition. And by 10, the transition is complete. It's my understanding.
Congrats to Mark and our thread. Said he had a hole-in-one yesterday. I made fun of you. I said, it's a little lucky, but that is what you're aiming at. You are in fact aiming at the hole, and it goes in. So there's that. Well, it's true.
It's true. Technically.
Look. Your odds are better the better play you are, but it's all sort of hit it up there and maybe it doesn't.
There are certain, like the volcano hole is not going to get a hole in one on it typically.
The windmill.
There's some, just you want to get.
At no point on the actual golf course did you go, hey, you know what? This might go in when I hit it.
No.
Even a putt from like 4 feet. That was not.
Never crossed my mind.
The thought. We'll get into some schedule stuff in a second. Aaron Judge, though, did hit his 60th home run. So if you're into kind of the history thing at all, the AL record is 61. So everybody will be showing his at-bats the rest of the year now as he attempts to tie and then ultimately break that record as it moves forward. So that was yesterday. Guess guess he did that, then I guess Stanton hit a walk-off or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of scanning as I'm reading.
John Carlos Stanton hit a walk-off last night. Who won the did Pujols do anything in San Diego?
Not that I've seen, so I'm assuming not.
I listened to the first 4 innings.
And then also yesterday, it was for a team clinching a playoff berth, the most annoyed they could be. The Braves yesterday clinched a playoff berth, but it came via the Mets beating the Brewers. So they were frustrated because they would have gone into a tie for first place with the Mets had the Brewers won to not let them clinch the playoff berth.
That was Lindor hit the big home run, right? Hit a grand slam.
7-5 was the final. I don't know what happened past that. But,
I think Francisco Lindor did it.
Okay.
He's so good.
So
he really makes me want the Cubs to get a really good shortstop. There's so many available. They got to get one.
Who would you put money on? Like, who do you expect them to get?
The rumor's Trey Turner. I'm holding out hope for Carlos Correa until all hope is lost.
Okay.
I would be happy with Turner. I'd be happy with Dansby Swanson, although I suspect he'll stay in Atlanta. They've got decisions to make.
The Astros and Dodgers have clinched division titles at this point. The Mets and Braves have clinched playoff berths. Yankees, Guardians, and Cardinals are your other division leaders. And then your wild card leaders are Blue Jays, Rays, and Mariners in the AL, Braves, Padres, and Phillies in the NL. So let's get in the schedule a little bit. Pull up Ole Miss's first, and we'll go around the league a little bit. Again, we knew the teams. We talked about that yesterday, but did not know the dates to it at that point. We have those now, and I found the story from OleMissSports.com. But hold on, let me actually find a list because that would be much easier. It's just I know it's bad pod, but give me a second. Probably should have went ahead and had that up. But
Hardman says Turner's better than Correa. Yeah, I don't mind that. And the other guy's Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of talk about they would only do Bogaerts if he agreed to move to third base.
What are the odds of that?
I don't know. I don't. You know how it is when you follow a National League team, you mostly follow the National League. I don't know a lot about Bogaerts. Like, I know he's a very good player. I just don't know whether he's ready to move to third base. The Cubs' decision, no one cares. I mean, you asked about it, is that Nico Hoerner's played very good baseball this year and has proven to be a proficient defensive shortstop. They think he could move to second base and be an elite second baseman. But if the answer was to get Bogaerts and put him at third, Hoerner's proven he can play the position.
Gotcha. Okay. So we knew the Ole Miss's first 3 games of the year were non-conference games next year. Those are Mercer at home to start, the Bears, who always play SEC teams in the non-conference. That trip to Tulane on September 9th. And now this is the first time they will play on Tulane's home stadium. That game is not in the Superdome, so that will be a bit of a change there. Probably be a little tougher ticket, honestly, because you had unlimited tickets.
It's going to be hot.
It will be one muggy sauna.
Hot.
Yeah, that'll be a mess on the Tulane campus from a heat standpoint that day.
Potentially really hot.
Yeah, go ahead and hydrate.
Yeah,
get ready. If you have a late night in the quarter the night before, just be prepared for what
you're going to sweat it out. Like. Yeah. That's. I mean, there are going to be people that are going to champion through it, but that is not the environment to take the flask of something. I mean, you're going to...
Because if you want to do dinner and stuff that night, too, you're going to need water all day. Like, you're going to have to find a way to...
Because the odds are that's going to be a day game.
I mean, yeah.
Because it usually is.
You hope that it is. I mean, you don't want a night game.
No, you don't want to be at a football game in New Orleans at night.
No. 6:30 is not the start time.
Sweating your ass off at it.
No, you want... I mean, frankly, 11's not bad. Roll out of bed, get some grits, and head to the stadium.
Rather be 11 than 3.
3 is going to be hot as hell and kind of late into starting getting into your evening a little bit.
Well, that game's got 3 written all over it. I'm just going to tell you that.
That's your early guess. It's 3:00 for Ole Miss and Tulane.
Yeah, I mean my early guess for that Mercer game's like 3:00. I haven't looked at the rest of the slate. Let me pull up SEC. I saw the SEC schedule. That might be the better way to try to guess game times.
Yeah, I've got it up too because I was going to go through those when we went through this a little bit.
Let's see. I actually got that email yesterday. So
yeah, that's where I had pulled it from, was from Chuck.
Chuck Dunlap does a really good job, by the way.
We
don't give enough credit here. Go. I've got it right here. It's the first day.
Oh, you're doing Mercer.
Yes, I'll do that one September 2nd. First, Hawaii and Vanderbilt open again. They're going to make this a tradition. Good for them. They open on August the 26th.
They're coming to Nashville this time.
Yeah.
This is another one of those where if I'm Vandy, we'll just keep coming to you. I don't need Hawaii to come to Nashville.
I wonder what the cost was for the doors on that trip to Hawaii, though. It might be.
What else are they spending money on?
I don't know.
I mean, hell,
not players.
Go to their stadium.
Sure.
They are doing a renovation, apparently. That's what people keep saying.
So it's first weekend, September 2nd. It's Middle Tennessee at Alabama.
Sure.
Western Carolina at Arkansas. That game's in Little Rock. UMass at Auburn. Florida makes the return trip to Utah. UT Martin goes to Georgia. Ball State to Kentucky. Mercer at Ole Miss. Southeastern Louisiana at Mississippi State. South Dakota at Missouri. South Carolina versus North Carolina in Charlotte. I wonder who gets the TV rights on that one. Tennessee versus Virginia in Nashville. That's a good game. Networks will jump on that. New Mexico at Texas A&M and Alabama A&M at Vanderbilt.
So Vanderbilt again 2-0 next season.
Woof. I mean,
that's slate outside of like 3 games.
And then LSU, Florida State play in Orlando.
So they're playing again, but in a different location.
On the Sunday.
So essentially they did home and homes, but nothing at home.
Yes.
And New Orleans and in Orlando. Okay.
And then on September 9th.
So hold on a minute, though. On the 2nd. Okay, yeah, we got, 3 games? We get Florida 4, right? Florida, Utah.
The Battle of the Carolinas.
Tennessee, Virginia, the Battle of Carolinas, and LSU, Florida State.
Yeah, everything else is a joke.
Everybody getting off to
But that's the weekend to play the jokes because everybody's so hungry for football that they watch jokes.
Yeah, sure. Week 1, whatever.
It's week 2 jokes that people are like, man, this kind of.
Play somebody.
And we got some of those. A bunch of those.
On September the 9th?
A bunch.
September 9th is the day. Like, there is some decent stuff here.
So we get Texas at Alabama.
The return trip.
Everybody's in on that. Kent, I guess is it Kent State?
I don't know why it says Kent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Kent State at Arkansas. Auburn goes to Cal.
Okay.
McNeese State at Florida. Ball State at Georgia.
Okay.
Eastern Kentucky at Kentucky. Give Ball State some credit. They're getting their money out of the way at the beginning. They go at Kentucky, at Georgia to open the season. Enjoy preseason camp in Muncie, guys. Grambling is at LSU. It's good on LSU for playing them.
Yeah, by the way, Georgia is not the team that decided to play somebody. They're going UT Martin, Ball State to open their season.
Yeah, they know how this deal's done. Ole Miss is at Tulane. Arizona is at Mississippi State.
Return trip for that one.
Middle Tennessee at Missouri. Furman at South Carolina. Austin Peay at Tennessee. Texas A&M at Miami. So it won't be a SEC. CBS won't. I mean,
that'll be an ACC game.
That's your ACC 2:30 game right there. Vanderbilt at Wake Forest.
So a bunch of return trips for this year's contracts.
Yeah. So. Well, Auburn Cal is ESPN won't own those rights either.
So that's a Fox game.
If you made me guess, I'm guessing that
there's too many games. Like it could be literally anywhere because there's going to be multiple 3s, multiple 11s,
and that's before CBS.
But frankly, here's the deal:
they don't do a 2:30 game.
Here's the deal, though. What's Tulane? What is the Americans' contract? That's not an SEC game.
Oh, that's right.
That's an American game.
Yeah, no idea.
So where the hell is that thing at?
No clue.
I don't know what the Americans' TV rights are. I mean, this thing could be at 11 on CBS Sports Network for all we know. Actually, it feels like an ESPN 2.
Probably
11 o'clock is what it feels like.
Probably.
My early guess is ESPN 2, 11 a.m.
Someone's asked about what time a Texas Alabama game be.
I mean,
I don't. So when did was it week 2 or week 3 that CBS did their first game? It was week 3 because they don't do it while the U.S. Open's going on.
Oh. So
my guess on Texas Alabama is 11 a.m. right out of game day.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
It's possible that series is 11-11 for 2 years.
That would be my guess.
Yeah. September 16th, that is the Georgia Tech at Ole Miss game. Again, we already knew that. The return trip there for Ole Miss against whoever Georgia Tech's new coach is next season for the Yellow Jackets. It does not feel like Jeff Collins is going to be getting on a plane to Oxford next season.
Not unless he's working as an analyst.
I don't think he'd be doing that at Tech. Maybe here.
Well, that's what I mean. He'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
here.
I mean, what is the path for him to save his job? Literally, like beat UCF, Virginia, and Duke.
Them deciding it's just
too expensive
to fire him.
And
That's
just
the
keep
path.
him another year and go,
That's the path. The path where they just go, it doesn't matter anymore.
Because I do think they're in for rude awakening. I think it's the deal where in this era especially, Georgia Tech is one of the least attractive jobs in the country. Like bottom 10, Power 5 easily.
Yeah,
They have no money. They have a fan base. It's transient. Everybody going into Atlanta to get kids. You got some academic stuff to overcome from an admission standpoint.
Before anybody wondered, he said transient. Transient, YouTube. Chill out. Relax. We don't need another strike. He said transient. Look it up. Just look up the word. Then calm down.
There's that bit where you say certain words and they're like, how dare you? It's like, no, it means this. And it's like, it's not my fault you're an idiot. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
he said transient.
Okay. So elsewhere on that game, so Ole Miss will get to 3-0. You hope that Tulane is good again next year to at least be a interesting game. You hope that's not 42-0 or something from that standpoint. But
he's done a
whatever.
good job. They
3-0.
They might be okay. Yeah,
3-0.
sure.
They're on the front of the Times pick this morning. I looked at the story. Alabama at South Florida is also that day, and BYU at Arkansas. I forgot. So Arkansas did a home and home with BYU, I guess. So that's the return.
I mean, some idiot booked that.
Well, Cincinnati, BYU. I mean,
I know.
They
did the home and home with Cincy.
Samford at Auburn. Tennessee at Florida, South Carolina at Georgia, so that game early again. Akron at Kentucky, Georgia Tech at Ole Miss, LSU at State. The return for Kansas State at Missouri, ULM at Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt UNLV. So Vanderbilt headed to Vegas in week 3
for them.
next year.
Get a bowl game.
I do like how Vanderbilt is putting its schedule together. All jokes aside, their AD has done a really good job on putting I don't guess they have an AD, whatever their situation is. Has done a really good job on putting their schedules together.
Yeah,
Get them some early wins. Play a couple teams that are interesting, but you can beat.
So this year they got a trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Next year they get a trip to Las Vegas. That's good.
And
good
Wake is perfect.
Yeah.
That's our challenge. Wake. Okay.
Yeah,
sure. Even footing there a little bit. But yeah, the SEC staying with a lot of these early games that are always early SEC games between Tennessee, Florida, LSU, Mississippi State, and South Carolina, Georgia, which has almost kind of become a routine week 2, week 3 game. Ole Miss opening league play in cupcake fashion. They're in Tuscaloosa to start league play on September the 23rd for that one. I don't think anybody else. That's actually just 2 games that are of interest to me. There's Arkansas at LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama, the 2 best SEC games there in week 4 for the Rebels.
Yep.
And look, there's no good time to play Alabama, but might as well get it over with.
Well, you have Auburn's new coach at Texas A&M. That's a good game.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that Arkansas at LSU and Auburn A&M are the 3 that stick out to me. State's at South Carolina, but that puts me to sleep right now. So, again.
You don't think Hugh can win in Columbia?
I
think he can.
I think Hugh is going to walk all over Shane Beamer
there
in
you
Columbia
go.
next year. That's why it's not interesting. Just
be fun to watch. Hugh's going to go get him a quarterback out of the portal.
Space Odyssey and all that stuff won't affect him.
No.
Carolina does have a good game day. It's fun.
Oh, they have a great game day.
Yeah, it's a good game day. Fans that show up, no matter how bad they are, too, because they can suck and still kind of fill it up a little bit. Missouri versus team to be determined on September 23rd.
I like Missouri's chances.
What happened? Who pulled out?
I don't know.
Ask Gabe. Curious. September 30th, Texas A&M, Arkansas, and Arlington, Georgia, Auburn, Florida, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss,
Damn,
Alabama State, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Missouri, Vanderbilt.
I mean, get started.
I mean, by God, on September 30th, they went, you know what? Here we go.
How about that? That's a weekend right there.
But Ole Miss opens league play, Alabama, LSU. That's how they get this thing started.
Whew.
It's in Oxford, though. Beat LSU. It's 4-1. And again, if you're going to play Bama, play them first.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't want to play them in late November. No, get that crap over with.
I'd rather play them when they're still trying to figure something out.
It's going to be a new quarterback. It's going to be Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Which I hear he's pretty decent, but
he's good.
The rumor is he can spin it. His dad's still trying to go in places and win games.
But I'd rather play them early than give him 8-9 games to get into a rhythm.
I mean, that really is a slate right there.
That's a hell of a slate. Someone's going to get pissed off about 11 a.m. that day, and ESPN's going to say, hey, what do you want us to do? Somebody's going to have to play at 11.
Well, somebody's got the SEC Network game at 3. Because it's 7 SEC games.
Yeah.
I mean,
A&M and Arkansas.
Georgia, Auburn.
They could both be pretty good next year. Georgia's going to be great. Auburn's got the new coach. It's a big rivalry.
Florida, Kentucky's interesting. And
Florida's going to be better.
Under Napier.
Kentucky might, I don't know. I started to say might take a step back just because of quarterback play, but they've been pretty consistent for a while now. LSU's going to be better. I think Ole Miss is going to be really good. Alabama's Alabama. State, I mean, Hugh Freeze has beaten Alabama a couple of times.
Wow.
Could he do it again? Could Hugh Freeze beat Alabama in the same state in 2 different places?
No.
And then South Carolina's maybe better. Tennessee's really good.
Then we get Missouri Vanderbilt.
Mizzou Vandy, you guys, that's a 3 o'clock kick on SEC Network, so prepare yourself.
You can go ahead and pin that baby in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
That's done.
Yeah, whatever the CBS game is, Missouri Vanderbilt, you're opposite that. Go ahead. It's all good.
Hugh getting another shot at Alabama feels like a 6:30 game.
You mention this every day. Do you will it into existence? I
mean, I might be trying.
It can't hurt, can it?
I mean, talk about something enough. By the way, there are people.
Ginger is right. Says some a-hole will schedule their wedding that day. There'll be angry SEC fans everywhere.
I mean,
you got the schedule already. You have it right now.
Here's my deal.
Yes.
If you want to schedule your wedding on that day, go for it. But don't be pissed off when nobody comes.
It's a free country. Have it whenever you want.
Well, it used to be. It's a relatively free country. He said transient. It's a relatively free country. And if you just want a September wedding, then by God, have one. I'd feel sorry for the pansy that's marrying because he's already proving that he's never going to stand up and go, hey, listen, you're out of line.
Well, because when you're scheduling it that day, you're also the person who's going to go around yelling at all the people who have their phone out of the TVs at the reception following the games. It's my day. Focus on me. Put the phones and TVs up.
But really, if you think about it, and I know I don't want to go too far down this road because we have stuff to do, but what else are we talking about? It's Wednesday before Ole Miss.
We're looking at the 2023 schedule. We got a day, okay? I mean, hell, if we don't do it till Monday, does it really freaking matter?
Because here's the deal. If on Monday we're talking about Tulsa, something went terribly, terribly wrong. So let's be real.
Some stuff did not go well.
So I'm thinking out loud in my own head as I do this. I don't feel sorry for the guy. It's his fault.
You don't feel sorry for him at all?
No.
Okay.
If your wedding happens on September 30th of next year, and you're the guy,
sure,
you're a total loser. You are, and you deserve everything that is coming your way. I don't care how good she looks. I don't care. She can look like Margot Robbie. You still are proving that you don't have any. And she is going to absolutely hurt you. She's going to take all your money, if you even have any. And your life is going to be miserable.
You're getting all this out of a wedding on September or whatever date.
Because if you're a guy that has some about him, right?
Yeah, sure.
He says, babe, that's not a good day. That's not a good day. All of our, what's the slate? Because it's just about everybody playing. All of our friends are Ole Miss fans. LSU's coming to town. We got a bunch of LSU fans. They're going to want to watch that game. They're going to want to go do the Grove thing. Babe, you know that A&M Arlington game's A&M Arkansas game in Arlington's a big deal. We have some friends at A&M at Arkansas. They're going to want to watch that. Hell, they're going to want to go to that. Hold on. You got a game in Oxford. You also have, so we're doing Ole Miss fans. This is an Ole Miss couple, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Some of their friends are Mississippi
this
State fans.
three-state thing, you've got two. You have Ole Miss LSU, which is a little bit of a big game around here, and State playing Alabama.
Yeah.
So you're getting every fan base that's probably the most likely four fan bases to be at your wedding.
And then you're mixing in some periphery games that might impact. I mean, maybe you have some Arkansas friends. That's a big game. Maybe you have some Auburn friends.
Yep, exactly.
Auburn's playing its second biggest rival that day.
Yeah.
I
had several Georgia fans that,
you have to say, babe, let's do this in the spring. Let's do this in the spring. We can schedule this. Because the people that go, well, you can't do it on a baseball weekend. Shut up. Yes, you can. It's fine. You can miss a baseball weekend. It'd be all right. You agree with that?
I'm 100% fine with that.
Okay. You can, let's say, hey, let's do this in March. Let's do this in April. Let's do this in May. Let's do this in June. We got a 4-month window here. And if she goes, no, I want a fall wedding.
Yeah.
You're having your first moment of clarity in your marriage. Because if you say, okay, well, we'll just do it. Your life path has been set. But if you say to her, no, that's not what we're doing. Trust me on this. And if ultimately she goes, okay, and you have the wedding in March and everybody comes and it's a blast,
it all worked out.
You can say to her that you looked beautiful. That was amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah. And before you know it, everything's good. And you stood up to her without, because all you have to say to her is, this is going to be a disaster. You're going to be miserable. This is going to be a disaster. People are either not going to come or they're going to be locked on their phones.
Yes. Yeah, this is the day. I mean, any of them to some extent, but it is this week.
Don't get married in the fall. Don't get married in the fall.
Yeah. We'll come to some later weeks potentially, but September 30th, definitely out. We'll continue this exercise in a minute. When we do that, I'll tell you about G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync. 3 prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery, and you have everything you need when you need it from G&M and Tyson Drugs, located there in Holly Springs. And you can easily transfer your medications to G&M. One phone call, they take care of the rest. Again, that's 662-236-2222.
We're having an argument about whether it's worth it if it is someone who looks like Margot Robbie. And I mean, I get how that would be. I understand because she's amazing. But all right, we're brought to you by Walk On Sports Bistro. They put everything they've got into bringing you game day with the taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana cuisine, po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs, 40-plus ice-cold beers on tap. Visit them today in Oxford or Ridgeland. Our friends at Blue Delta are excited to announce they'll be hosting Mustache the Band on Friday, October the 14th for the Square Jams after party. So you go watch the Rebels basketball exhibition and then head over to the Lyric where you can join the folks from Blue Delta with the world's most powerful 90s country party band. Ticket packages are on sale now. Some tickets include jeans, some don't, but all include admission to the concert and an open bar. To book, just DM Blue Delta on their socials or visit bluedeltajeans.com/afterparty, and we'll see you there. A-Stock Auctions is a Nashville-based online auction company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items at A-Stock Auctions start at just $1. That's right, every item starts at just $1. astock.bid. Download their app and name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. They have multiple locations around Nashville that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. If you want it, bid it, win it. Brought to you by MyPerfectFranchise.net. If you're looking to diversify, if you're looking to leave the corporate rat race to gain control of your income and schedule, MyPerfectFranchise.net offers the ability to create income and wealth. Let Andy guide you through a comprehensive franchise evaluation. He has tons of franchise and business ownership experience to lean on. If you hate your job, your boss, your pay, you feel stuck, Andy can help. It's Andy at MyPerfectFranchise.net. And we're brought to you by Solutions RX. They've got it's a probiotic multivitamin supplement company. It's created by Ole Miss Pharmacy alum Chris Cornelison. They produce lots of different medications, including prescription support, vitamins, all sorts of things that they've got there. I've been using some of their products I love them. You will too. Solutionsrx.com. It's available in local independent pharmacies as well. If you go to the website, again, solutionsrx.com, enter the promo code OEP at checkout, you'll get 10% off your first order.
Podcast also brought to you by Johnson Hill Creamery. That's johnsonhillcreamery.com. Remember, go to their Instagram page to see all the different options they have every single day. They have great photos and videos of their cheese making process. They make all their cheeses locally and in-house every day with Johnson Hill Creamery. Again, that's johnsonhillcreamery.com. And with home games still to go, several of them, let them handle your tailgate. They feed 10, 20, or 40, depending on the package that you need. Everything from their great charcuterie trays to their cheeses to desserts, crudité, and much more. They also artfully arrange your elaborate table arrangement, and they supply you with disposable cutlery as well. So that's 662-419-9201 or cheese at johnsonhillcreamery.com. All right, let's jump back into this. We finished
up September.
We finished all of September.
We're heading into October now.
Oh, that's true.
We're
October 7th.
We're now officially a year ahead of. We're talking about something that is more than a year away.
Yeah, I mean it's. You kind of get one day of this, and then it's like, all right, like that's it. Like I feel a little. I do sort. It's the closest we get at any point of feeling like that radio show that I make fun of years and years and years ago. That was the local Oxford basement where the guy just read the media guide. And like this is the closest thing we do that sort of kind of feels like that.
I followed that a couple of times. I always thanked him for setting me up because I couldn't be worse.
Oh, you're talking about at the quarterback club things.
Yeah, remember that?
I was talking about the actual radio channel that was back in the day with the one we met with that time. They had a program where a guy literally opened the damn media guide and went, today, page 42. And he read that bad boy. And that was an hour of programming.
I just can't imagine.
You never heard this?
No, I just can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I just think my life is boring. That's boring.
I don't know.
I mean,
sorry. All right. I'm not going to make fun of anybody today, so I'm going to stop there because anything else is identifiers to give away what I'm talking about. October 7th, Vanderbilt at Florida. Okay, whatever. Kentucky at Georgia. Arkansas at Ole Miss. Good back-to-back there. Western Michigan, Mississippi State, LSU, Missouri, and Alabama A&M Alabama at Texas A&M there on October the 7th.
Well, it's a little bit of a run there for our boy Sam Pittman, isn't it?
What's it back-to-back-to-back?
At LSU, A&M in Arlington, at Ole Miss. Goodness. And then week 4 at Alabama. Somebody hated them in the SEC office.
So they're getting started.
God almighty. You could be pretty good and go 0-4. Think about that. At LSU, Texas A&M in Jerry World.
Yeah.
At Ole Miss, at Alabama. Good night.
You could easily lose those games.
You could be good and go 0-4. Wow.
Yeah, 1-3 and be like really good.
Yeah.
I mean, you go 9-3, but start 1-3.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's a slate.
LSU, Missouri puts me to sleep, but every Missouri game is putting me to sleep except Vanderbilt. I mean, they just that's not a new coach yet, though, in Missouri, right?
Probably not.
I don't see him getting fired.
We'll see. Better win soon. By the way, I think they might win now. TJ Finley's out. I mean, Auburn's going to have to either go with Calzada, and we've seen that before.
I don't know what that looks like.
Or they've got to go with Ashford.
They're going to go with Ashford.
And that makes them really one-dimensional. Really one-dimensional.
What is Missouri's level of care? I mean, they care, don't get me wrong, but...
Oh, I mean, that'd be a big win.
No. I mean, program, like time, Drinkwitz. Like, what's their trigger finger?
I know he thinks they don't care.
Drinkwitz?
Yeah.
And he chose it.
Got offered a lot of money.
They don't care any less than they cared
He
then.
took the money.
It clouded his judgment.
I mean, I get it.
Well, sure. But he was going to get a gig.
Was he?
He could have kept winning at App State. Look at him.
Get money. Sometimes you just got to take it.
I mean, he probably would have taken the Ole Miss job instead.
Sure. I'm in a decent mood. Let's not go there.
It rises your blood pressure every time, doesn't it?
It just takes me to a really dark place.
You don't want to consider those hypotheticals.
Do you?
Not even a little bit, no. Well, welcome to the Oxford Exxon Podcast today. You know, Lane's doing a hell of a job at Arkansas right now. Ole Miss, if they get past Georgia Tech, they have a shot at bowl eligibility, I feel like.
Because he would have done a really good job at Arkansas, too.
Sure.
I mean, he'd have figured it out. Transfer to the Hill instead of transfer to the Sept.
Yep. October 14th, as you mentioned, Arkansas at Alabama, Missouri, Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, Florida, South Carolina, A&M, Tennessee. That one's fun.
Oh, that's a good game.
And Georgia, Vanderbilt.
Because that's Jimbo maybe squarely on the hot seat by about that time.
Ooh. They say losing Dallas next year and then play this game. You've already got Alabama, too. They could be doing a third loss potentially on the road on October 14th.
Yeah, I mean, look, they got to go to Miami next year, September the 9th.
Oh, I forgot that.
That's not a gimme. They'll beat Monroe. I'm just looking at their schedule real quick. They get Auburn at their place, probably a win. Got to play Arkansas. Get Alabama at their place. Ooh, it could get a little tense by the time they head to Knoxville. We're trying to will that into existence too.
Are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
And you're starting to really buy into Tennessee too.
Potentially. No, they got to replace Hooker after this year.
And he's had a hell of a
That's Hendon Hooker. He's a football player. Okay.
Yes.
Just chill out, YouTube.
October 21st. It's the third Saturday in October, so you know we're getting Tennessee, Alabama.
Oh, thank God we keep that tradition alive.
I mean, that's Rose Bowl sunset level of, by God, this is in stone for a I mean, when's the last time Tennessee won this stupid game? 05?
The last time they even got close was Kiffin.
When Terrence Cody blocked the field goal.
Yeah.
So 05? They've lost like 17 in a row.
Something like that.
And they ain't winning this year. They're better, but they ain't winning.
Alabama's got,
hold on a minute.
Alabama's got 3 road games.
Are you picking Tennessee?
No. But what I'm saying is Alabama's got 3 road games starting next week that are kind of interesting. They've got to go to Fayetteville, they've got to go to Knoxville, and they've got to come to Oxford. If I put the over-under on 2.5 wins, what would you do? I put the over-under at 2.5. You going over? Just you locking in, going over?
No, it is not uncommon for Alabama to lose a game. So I'll probably.
If they're going to lose one, it's one of those 3.
Sure.
And of those 3.
But in an individual game, I don't think I picked them to lose.
No. But if you told me right now that they went to Knoxville and lost, I buy it.
State and Arkansas, Ole Miss at Auburn, Army at LSU. That's interesting. And South Carolina at Missouri, wrapping up October 21st. October 28th, Mississippi State at Auburn, Georgia, Florida, what they used to call the cocktail party. Tennessee, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, A&M. So little bit more of a duddy week, except for a couple
Tennessee,
there.
Kentucky's got a chance to be a good game.
It does.
Georgia, Florida's got a chance to be a good game. I think Napier's going to do a good job there.
And State and Auburn is always interesting.
Yeah.
Especially in an Auburn rebuild where they're in year 1 under whomever that is.
State and Auburn this year is going to be interesting.
November 4th, LSU at Alabama.
Going to be a bad day for whichever coach loses that game is going to have a rough day.
What's that?
Mississippi State Auburn this year.
Oh, yeah.
The losing coach of that game is not.
You wake up and go, oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah. Coffee's not going to taste very good the next morning.
Yeah. LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida.
This is November 4th
It
next
is,
year.
yes. Missouri at Georgia, A&M at Ole Miss, Kentucky at Mississippi State, Jacksonville State at South Carolina, UConn at Tennessee, and Auburn at Vanderbilt.
That's 3 pretty good games. LSU at Alabama. CBS loves that. Arkansas at Florida. Got a chance to be a good game. A&M and Ole Miss should be a really good game. Yeah, but not a bad slate.
November the 11th, Auburn at Arkansas, Ole Miss at Georgia. Yep.
Maybe a fun trip to Athens in November, but
yeah, having
to go at Alabama, at Georgia in the same years
is tough. Now, thankfully, you only have to do it once every 12 years, but still,
that's a
but here's the
assignment.
Here's the silver lining. If you're going to play them both on the road.
Well, for sure.
Don't take two of your home games, but then you've got the harder games on the road.
No doubt.
Because they will have that also once every 12 years.
No doubt.
I guess they'd be split. But either way, that's not ideal either. Auburn at Arkansas, Ole Miss at Georgia, Alabama at Kentucky, Florida at LSU, Tennessee, Missouri, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, and Mississippi State at A&M. So State A&M's a late game next year. State plays them well. November 18th is your FCS Cupcake Week that comes at the end of the year. Ole Miss taking part of that next year. They're playing Louisiana Monroe in that week on November 18th. I'm saying you absolutely qualify as a cupcake.
We led Alabama in the first quarter.
You did. So did Ole Miss that year when they lost 50-7.
That's not what I was talking about.
Okay. UT Chattanooga, Alabama, FIU, Arkansas, New Mexico. I mean, whatever. The games that are not that are Southern Miss at Mississippi State, Florida at Missouri, Kentucky at South Carolina, and Georgia at Tennessee. Welcome to 2:30, Georgia at Tennessee.
For sure.
Go ahead and pencil that one in. Ole Miss and State is again on Thanksgiving, and then all your rivalry games on November 25th.
So they took the Missouri-Arkansas game away from Friday and put it on Saturday.
Saturday.
How about that? If I were Ole Miss, I'd go, okay, they don't want that Friday, we'll take it. I hate Thanksgiving game. Sorry. I think it's dumb. Going against the NFL on Thanksgiving is just...
It's time to stop.
It's obscurity. It is. The only people that watch it are your fans and the team you're playing's fans. People are going to watch... The NFL is going to do a slate on next Thanksgiving and this Thanksgiving that's going to pull in all the football people. So if the whole thing is, well, we have the national audience to ourselves, no, you don't. You don't. Now, you could on Friday because nobody works.
Friday is right there.
Nobody works on that Friday. Everybody's hanging around, doing the Black Friday shopping, loading up on Amazon deals, all that stuff, hanging out at home, leftovers, lighting the grill, whatever the case may be. Play a football game on that Friday. The whole country will watch. But you're competing against the NFL.
It is actually the one day where you have it.
You're competing against the NFL on Thursday.
Yes, there is a night game on NFL Network now.
And so when you compete,
NBC or whatever
it's going to be NBC. When you compete against the NFL, you lose.
And it doesn't matter which two teams are playing.
No, you lose.
It can be Panthers, Jags. Doesn't matter.
You just lose when you compete against the NFL. They're the king. They're the unquestioned king. The crown is firmly on the NFL's head.
So from an order standpoint, look, we're doing a year out here. It's impossible to know for sure, but it's a really freaking tough slate. Ole Miss opening league play, Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, and then at Auburn is
that's brutal.
Really tough 4 games. I mean, you get the Vanderbilt thing there, but then it's A&M and then Georgia and then State. Like, it's just damn. I mean, it's
a tough league.
Somebody will suck because somebody always sucks, but in general, when you look at it, you go, "Wow, that's not kind." But it's like most times. I mean, you can get Ole Miss to, you can get them to 5 easily because of Vanderbilt, and then you start going from there and piecing them together and figuring out what you think from that point. But just really critical games with A&M and Arkansas at home. Those and LSU. Those 3 are your swing. Go get those and then see what's going on.
Don't know what those.
It's just too early.
It's too well with the transfer portal. Who knows what a team's going to look like?
Oh, that's true. I mean, Ole Miss has 27 new players this year.
I mean, who knows what a team's going to look like next year? How in the world can you possibly even begin to try to handicap it? I'm sure someone will.
Oh, there will be predictions today.
How? I mean,
well, I see 10-2. Well, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
What you don't know is this the year that Auburn loads up the transfer portal.
Because you don't know who the coach is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. How many transfers does Hugh bring to Starkville?
Maybe a ton.
Does he totally change?
He might just take a bunch of Liberty kids with him.
Could. I mean, he can make trips to all sorts of places and get players.
He could.
Go to Houston, go to Tampa.
I was waiting on Tampa.
Get players.
He could.
Bring them into state. He could say transfer to the east part of the Sept. It's a lot of words on the shirt, but, you know. What would his catchphrase at state be? I'm trying to think of what it would be.
What is it?
Well, remember he had the believe and what was?
But it changed every year though.
I'm trying to remember what they were. What was family, stuff like that.
Yeah, because they all stand for things.
Yeah.
Houston was one heartbeat.
Oh, that's right.
It was Houston, right?
That's right. One heartbeat.
One heartbeat.
They remember November.
Yes. You spell fun W-I-N.
It's just true.
Now
that part's true.
Houston was right about both those things, technically. They do remember November.
They do.
You're much better off winning through November than losing through November with the same record.
The rest of his stuff was pretty hokey. Circle of Trust. That was pretty weird. Was he the hold the rope guy, or was that Hugh? Houston was the rope guy, right?
I don't remember. Houston was the foxhole guy.
Hugh was win the day. Win the day.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you, Ginger.
That's
win
right.
The
win
day.
the day.
Win
that's
the
right.
day. But like the music and stuff, it would go over really well at state. That would go over really, really well.
Friends with the NASCAR drivers and the singers. And
oh, I'm just telling you, John, you're welcome. I'm doing this for you.
You want his number? You want to send him a text?
Yeah. Yeah. Can we make?
Hey, just heads up, John.
I want this to happen. I need this to happen. The more I think about it, the more I think, my God, it's perfect. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, Hugh Freeze at Mississippi State, and we get to do that for a full season. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Thank you, big
Reb one.
Big Reb one. Thank you.
I'm going to break because we got other stuff other than Houston Nut Variety Hour. But had Houston just simply believed that Ole Miss can win at a high level, he would have been all right.
Yeah.
He literally didn't. It was A, he didn't believe, and B, he should have taken a year off. He was tired. And then once 08 and 09, he became really, really, really tired. Because
and in fairness, he was fighting his AD every day. Houston let a lot of people convince him to be paranoid. He was paranoid of a lot of things. His AD.
Sure.
Me.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things. Seriously. VZ.
Yeah. VZ.
They hated Kyle and me.
VZ, who hated college football, didn't even care enough to like the sport, was the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
That 08 team needed hokey. Houston was a great fit for the 08 team.
I've always given him,
it fun.
He did a great coaching job. I've given him tons of credit.
He just never thought Ole Miss could win. He thought 6-6, 7-5 per perpetuity was Ole Miss.
In 2010, when he did that press conference where he said it's 50 years, 50, he believed that.
No, he thought he had done something.
He truly meant, what are you people wanting? Yeah. I gave you 2 good years. We're having a bad year. Yeah. Chill out. Maybe we'll get to 6 and we'll go to the Independence Bowl and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
You're just Ole Miss.
Yeah.
That's what he thought. What was his record at Arkansas against Ole Miss? Was it pretty good? I don't remember.
Yeah, because the Ole Miss hardly ever won in Fayetteville at least. So, yeah.
So I think he kind of thought, you're not.
And he only lost to State once, and it was in year 1.
Right. You're not supposed to be good. Really, it fell apart if you think about it. It fell apart. He got the last lucky break when Les Miles screwed up the clock thing. And then they were flat for the
Egg Bowl
in 09.
When they could have gone to the Cap One.
And he really never recovered.
Two, 3. I'm doing just a quick math. 4, 5, 6, He went 7-3 against Ole Miss in his 10 seasons.
Yeah, so that was his view of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Kind of a
He went 17-4 against Ole Miss and State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a view of all of it. He thought, you guys are lucky to have me.
Yeah. So, podcast brought to you in part by Northeast Spark, NESPARC, 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford Studio, your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159, phone service, parental controls, network security, and much more. So again, call the office for the best internet in Lafayette County. That's 662-238-3159.
We should start calling our ads the Circle of Trustables.
We could.
These are people
It sounds like Uncrustables is the problem, and then I get confused.
You like crust? Do you like
on sandwiches?
Yeah, do you cut the crust off your sandwich? I like the crust.
Yeah, whatever. Well, when you cut the crust off, you lose a lot of sandwich. Like, I feel like what's left, I'm like, well, that's...
They just become like a little petit four or something.
No, give me the sandwich.
I want the sandwich. I like the crust. The same people who cut
You probably like a hoagie, though, more than you do sliced bread, don't you?
I just like bread.
Okay.
But the same people who cut the crust off the sandwich, they don't cut the crust off of a hoagie.
No. Well, you can't. I mean,
so
what are you going to do, shave it?
That's what I mean. They don't cut the crust off their pizza.
They might not eat. There are people that don't eat the crust of pizza, that leave all the crust, that only eat down to the crust, and then...
I don't trust those people.
You think that's...
It's kind of weird.
You think that's even with not being liked by a Labrador?
Well, because on a good pizza, the crust is really good.
It's part of the dish.
Yes. Otherwise,
Crispy,
it's lasagna. Kinda.
I mean, eat the crust, people, but...
Yeah. The crust is good.
Crust is part of the pizza. That's true.
We're also brought to you by Holcomb Portable Buildings, 7991 Highway 7 South in Holcomb. I'm entertaining myself today. I apologize. At Holcomb Portable Buildings, they custom build your building to your specifications, however you want your carport, ATV, or storage shed, barn, hunting cabin, or other buildings. Holcomb makes it happen. You pick the color, the style, the windows, the doors, and they'll deliver. Free delivery and setup within 75 miles of Holcomb, 662-226-2233. Or find them on Facebook or Instagram at Holcomb Portable Buildings. Tulsa comes to town this weekend. Kentucky comes to town next weekend. Auburn right around the corner. If you are tailgating for one or two or all of those games, get in touch with our friends at 7 South Tailgating. They've got single game packages, multi-game packages for any budget, party size, games needed, whatever. They'll take care of you. And once you tailgate with them, you'll never tailgate without them. It's 7southtailgating.com. Father's Day right around the corner. No, it's not. Why did I read that? F you, San Diego. Dead Soxy is the perfect gift for any budget. Holidays are right around the corner. You know, I was telling you about how many calories I consumed yesterday. Maybe you're starting.
I'm wondering to think we didn't have enough. Yeah,
maybe you're starting to think, you should have had one more bar. Christmas is right around the corner. I've got this template set up. Christmas is right around the corner. Dead Soxy's the perfect gift, whether you're buying for yourself or for others. Dead Soxy can help you celebrate with style. It's deadsoxy.com, promo code Rebel Grove, and you get 25% off your order. It's always a great time to get Game Changer patches, but especially with all the games coming up, you want to be prepared when you're out in the Grove, whether you're mimosas in the morning or bourbon in the evening. You want those 2-patch system ready for you. Warm-up patch used before or while you drink. The overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. It's GameChangerPatch.com, promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. And we're also brought to you by ACS, Automation and Control Systems, LLC. They can service and install Rockwell Automation, Allen Bradley, Siemens, ABB, Square D, and many other manufacturers. For more information or to get in touch with ACS, go to acsllcms.com or call 662-601-4381.
This podcast is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Sorry, I was reading a couple different things there that were not for the show, sorry. Now a word from sponsor, BetterHelp. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when faced with a challenge in life. We're going through plenty of those right now. When you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. Therapists can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small, or even read teleprompters. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option because, again, while you might have friends or family that are willing to listen to you, a lot of times they have preconceived notions. They already have opinions and emotions built in. You need somebody who's a clean slate that you can just talk to and be able to free your mind that way. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. You get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and you can switch therapists at any time, video, on or off, whatever makes you the most comfortable. So when you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/MPW. You got mentioned in the thread. Did you see the Oklahoma State quotes back and forth about Bedlam?
I did not.
So
I have a feeling I'm going to like this.
These two programs bicker a lot, a whole lot. Oklahoma State is probably pretty frustrated right now because Oklahoma is headed to in the SEC and Oklahoma State is not.
Yeah.
On a number of levels.
Yeah.
It's high time for
Oklahoma's walking away with Margot Robbie. Oklahoma State's walking away with Lizzo.
Yes.
YouTube, come on, I'm joking.
Athletic directors for both schools said on Monday the series was officially ending when Oklahoma departs for the SEC. Oklahoma State athletic director Chad Weiberg, is that correct?
Sure.
He says, "We don't have any openings to play them. We're full. Unless there are significant undertakings to make the game happen, it can't happen." So he is riding the party line of, since they have all these non-con games scheduled for how many ever years, they can't find a way to play Oklahoma.
I mean, what do you want us to do? Call Mercer and say no? I mean,
come the hell on.
Come on.
So that's what he's doing.
Do you know how big that New Mexico State game is going to? I mean, come on. No one wants to miss that.
We gave Presbyterian our word. Yeah. I mean, what do you mean to do?
I mean. Well, now I'm curious. I want to see Oklahoma State's future schedule. Let me see if I can find it.
Oklahoma State has shown no interest to schedule any future games in football, so we're moving on. That was Castiglione. He went that direction with it.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up in a second. I've actually got it. You got them up too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On Tuesday, Gundy told reporters at Cowboys practice that while he likes Castiglione, we've got to quit beating around the bush and call it the way it is. Bedlam is history. We all know that. We've known that. Because OU chose to follow Texas and the money of the SEC. It's okay. So now we're having what I think are childish discussions, in my opinion, over something that's done. And I would like to make this the last statement that I have because I have no hard feelings. Yeah, clearly. But what's going on now is almost a situation with a husband and a wife or a girlfriend and a boyfriend when you know that you're dead wrong and you try to turn the table and make them think they're wrong, when Oklahoma State has no part in this. Castiglione told ESPN that Oklahoma has slightly more non-conference scheduling flexibility than Oklahoma State, but he hasn't given up entirely on future Bedlam series. Quote, "I think it will come back at some point in the 2030s.
All right, so I've got Oklahoma State's future non-cons up. Where are we starting this? 2024? Because that's realistically?
Sure.
2024.
Because they told SEC schools don't schedule out to Oklahoma or Texas starting in 2024.
Yeah. Actually starting in 2023.
Well, no, because Texas isn't playing Alabama.
Oh, you're right.
So it's got to be 2024.
All right. 2024, Oklahoma State plays South Dakota State.
Okay, real quick, and I'm going to let you do this.
Yeah, sure.
The Oklahoma State AD, they made the decision they made for reasons that make sense to them, and I get that, I guess, but those decisions have consequences. Hold on a minute.
Come on, dude. It's Margot.
Y'all went to the SEC, so by God, no, we're not playing you. How you like that? Okay, cool.
I mean, he's basically saying me and Lizzo are not coming to the wedding.
And then blaming Oklahoma because they left the league. They're the ones that stopped the series.
Yeah. Come on.
Go ahead.
2024, they play South Dakota State at home.
The Antelopes?
I'm sure.
Is that correct?
If you say so. Yeah. Arkansas at home. At Tulsa. Yeah, South Dakota State game. It's just got to happen. 2025, they play at Oregon and Tulsa at home. That's it. They have two more spots. 2026, they play at Tulsa again. So this Oklahoma State-Tulsa thing is really important. I'm sure that the fans would
in-state opponent.
I'm sure the fans would rather the Tulsa series happen than Bedlam. Sure. Oregon at home, and then, hey, we told Murray State, and we're not,
Murray State is on the schedule?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
2027, it gets better. 2027, Western Illinois. Come on.
The Leathernecks, right?
I'm impressed. I have no idea. At Arkansas, so they have a home and home with Arkansas with 2024 and 2027. And then Tulsa. Then in 2028, they have Southeastern Louisiana at Tulsa. They're big on this Tulsa thing, son of a gun.
So they were playing the Golden
They're playing
Hurricane.
Tulsa every year starting in 2024 through 2031, best I can tell.
Really?
Yeah. In 2029, they play Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and then Tulsa. 2030 is at Tulsa. 2031 is Tulsa. Got a home and home with Arkansas in 2032 and 2033. A home and home with Nebraska in 2034 and 2035.
Give me the dates of South Dakota and give me the date for Murray State.
South Dakota State is August 31st, 2024.
Okay.
And Murray State is September 19th, 2026.
Okay. What is Oklahoma State's 2020? No, it only matters then. Okay. What is their 2024 schedule?
South Dakota State.
What date is that?
August 31st.
Okay.
Arkansas.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, go together and find out how big of a check they have to write Temple to play South Dakota State. Tell them to go play each other, and then because they both have an open date here to play a non-conference
and open
game.
the damn season with Bedlam.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Sign me up.
Figure out what the check to write Temple and South Dakota State is and go, guys, we need a favor. We'll play you in basketball 10 years in a row or some shit. I don't know, whatever.
It's a shame that Oklahoma City doesn't have a big football stadium where you
go,
play
half and half
neutral site. Yeah.
That's what you do.
Agreed.
In 2026, New Mexico is playing Oklahoma that same day. Figure it out.
Cut the Lobos a check.
They'll take it.
Of course.
We'll pay you even though we're not playing.
We'll pay you and not beat you.
Yeah, and you can go play somebody where you might get a win.
Yeah, go for it. Have at it.
Go take a third of this check and go play Presbyterian.
Yeah, call Southeastern Louisiana or somebody.
Yeah.
Here's $2 million for your trouble.
This could get done if we weren't playing games.
Of course, but we're angry.
So we're going to let it die over being pissed off. Does it stay?
Well, if your best friend's walking away with Margot Robbie and you're walking away with Lizzo, you're pissed off.
So how long is it going to take before he calms down? Is this going to get played?
I don't know.
Oh, the scheduling this far in advance is dumb.
But you could get out of it. We watched it with COVID.
They all figured it out in 2 weeks.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Suddenly, when they were motivated to do it, they figured it out.
Yeah, and by the way, YouTube, that had nothing to do with just we talk about 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Happened to be a year impacted by a pandemic and schedules were impacted. So relax.
Speaking of Tulsa, I wrote about the quarterback today. It's pretty fascinating because the way their offense is set up. I'm very interested in watching them on Saturday. But to be Adidas and to be a smaller program, they do a pretty decent job with their uniforms.
Yeah, Tulsa's
uniforms are pretty good to be.
Yeah, no,
to be Adidas.
Yeah, they're good. Good look.
I don't like. There's two things because I was looking for photos of Davis Brin this morning. The two things that I don't like is they use the same logo everywhere. Not even a secondary logo. It's Tulsa here, Tulsa on the thing. It's just a lot of Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
And then their one Adidas thing, because they can't leave well enough alone, is their blue pants have golden down one side and hurricanes down the other, vertically.
No, I don't
no,
like
no,
that.
no. Just blue pant.
Just put a blue pant.
White shirt, blue pant, gold helmet. There's your road uniform. Stop.
And if you just insist on having golden hurricanes on your uniform, do it in cursive as small as you can and just kind of put it up on the kind of
just a little patch.
The hip patch thing. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Don't run it down the leg.
No.
Who thinks the running down the leg is a good look for any team?
You did.
I remember Rebels down the leg. That's correct. But Nike did that one time and they went, no. Sorry.
It was a bad pant.
Screwed up. It was bad. It was blue, right?
Yeah.
It was on the Navy pant.
They wore it at Texas.
Did they wear it in
I
Texas?
think so.
With
the white top and the blue.
Because, see, I actually like the white top with the blue shoulders.
If I remember right, that's what they wore it in Austin.
Okay. That seems right. Although, I tell you, maybe it's a Saints thing. I guess we will get to the NFL a long time tomorrow. I've screwed it up again. I guess maybe it's a Saints thing, but when I have those gold pants, if I'm Tulsa, I have a hard time putting any other pant on because I can wear it with the white top or the blue top,
Agreed.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
I'd have a really hard time going to a blue pant ever.
No, the gold
because you
pant
could wear
looks
white
great.
on white with the gold helmet, and that would pop on the road.
Yeah. I'm hoping they wear the gold pant with their white jersey this weekend because it's a great uniform. I'm a fan of the uniform.
I do agree with you, Sammy. Of all possible mascots, why Tulsa is not the Tulsa Tornadoes?
What is a golden hurricane? What is a golden hurricane? Like, what the hell does that mean?
Does that mean?
Because if you're a hurricane,
but their logo has like the hurricane flag in it.
So, but if you tell me, hey, we're the Hurricanes, I'm like, okay, you're a storm. What's a golden hurricane? And hurricanes don't go to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's never been impacted by a hurricane.
No, tornado.
A tornado. Oh, man.
Tulsa Tornadoes. Alliteration, the whole thing.
All
we are the
good.
Tulsa Tornadoes.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Now, you sound like a little bit like a minor league baseball team, but nonetheless. But
you wouldn't want to be the golden tornadoes. So what is a golden hurricane?
It's just their color. The origination of the University of Tulsa nickname Golden Hurricane came in 1922. The football team began working out in the fall with a new nickname, the Yellow Jackets. In the past, Tulsa had been named Kindleites, Presbyterians, Tigers, Orange and Black, Tulsans, and of course Yellow Jackets. Head coach Howard Archer made a remark in practice about roaring through opponents, and at that point it was seriously considered to name the team the Golden Tornadoes. However, it was learned that Georgia Tech had already chosen that tag in 1917. Did not know that. From the tornado, Archer evolved meteorologically to the hurricane. A few days before the team left for a game against A&M, Archer asked the squad to vote on the name, Golden Hurricanes, the gold being added because of the color of their new jerseys. So some cat in 1917 went, hold on a minute, Georgia Tech is already the Tornadoes? Well, who's this shit? Give them 2 years, they're going to be the Yellow Jackets. And then once they became the Yellow Jackets, couldn't you go, hey,
you remember that thing we were going to do?
The Tornadoes?
Let's do it again.
And who's confusing Tulsa and Georgia Tech? Especially in 1922.
Ever.
They playing each other.
No.
Because at that point, Georgia Tech, I guess, was like John Heisman running all over.
Where was the hand raised guy in that room that goes, hey, hurricanes don't come here? But you know what does? Like if you think about Oklahoma, one of the first things you think about is tornadoes.
I've never thought about it that way, that it is a Midwest thing for schools to abbreviate opposite the vernacular. The University of Tulsa is
what?
Like OU is the University of Oklahoma.
Oh.
Colorado is CU, not UC.
Right.
Tulsa is TU, not UT.
Even though it's the University of Tulsa.
It's a Midwest thing, apparently, according to Tulsa.
How about that?
Yeah, because they've got a frequently asked question on why is Tulsa referred to as TU, not UT.
Oh.
And they refer to, it's common practice among universities in the Midwest to take it on. The same with Oklahoma, Nebraska.
Indiana. It's IU, but it's University of Indiana.
Yeah. Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, among others, is what they say.
I've never even thought of it like NU.
But that's right.
But it's University of Nebraska.
Yeah, sure. Who knew? So.
Yeah.
Podcast brought to you in part by Prime Shrimp. PrimeShrimp.com.
If you're still listening to this right now,
God
bless you.
Yes.
I mean, we owe you a lot because I apologize. This is probably my fault.
It's probably not our best pod we've ever done, but it's okay. It's all good. Prime Shrimp, PrimeShrimp.com. 6 different flavors for you right there, shipped to your door. Put them in the freezer, and when you're ready to eat, less than 10 minutes from freezer to plate with Prime Shrimp. Everything from their newest offering, the lemon cracked pepper, to the signature seasoning blend, which is my favorite. They have spicy options, the French Quarter Alfredo, the garlic herb butter, or the Simply Shrimp if you'd like to doctor it up yourself. It's also great with kids. And they have 2-pound bags of individually frozen shrimp They're a lot like what's at the grocery stores, except for higher quality shrimp from the New Orleans-based brand. So use code MPW for $20 off your first order. That's primeshrimp.com.
If you are doing the fall wedding thing, you're going to need jewelry. You are. Go to Lamons. Find jewelry. Lamons at 1126 North Lamar Boulevard in Oxford. It's the gold standard in fine jewelry, no matter what you're looking for. LamonsFineJewelry.com or call them at 662-234-2777. Martin Palomo and I will have Amount of My Money tomorrow. I think that's the plan. It's brought to you by Pinnacle. Represent clients in more than 20 states. They have advisors in multiple states based out of Madison, Mississippi. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much, much more. It's mypinwealth.com, MYPINN wealth.com. If you are thinking about a vacation, whether you're thinking about a holiday vacation, already thinking ahead to next summer, spring break, whatever, get in touch with John Edwards at Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. He's going to give you options that you're not going to find on your own. All you have to do is give him parameters and a budget. Sit back. He'll make a trip one that creates a lifetime of unique memories. 901-494-3387 or jedwards at regencytravel.net. Also brought to you by OPA, Oxford's newest restaurant on the square. Gyros, wraps, kebabs, so much more. Cocktails, frozen libations, an amazing candlelit patio, all of that at 306 South Lamar in Oxford. I have a mailbag up on the site. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, residential, family homes. 662-567-2573, 662-842-3844. Picks will be up in the morning. They're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency, connecting great job opportunities to candidates since 1967. Whether you're on the job hunt or your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialists can help. Keep in mind that payment of service is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. It's always free for the candidate, so you got nothing to lose. Give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 662-832-5138 or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Don't just accept what you see, but imagine something new. Step forward, chase after a better version of yourself. Every day, Corinth Dental is helping people reinvent themselves one smile at a time. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative state-of-the-art procedures, including Invisalign. These clear aligners are the virtually invisible way to improve your smile. So call Corinth Dental today for a no-cost digital scan of your teeth. Let them show you the way to a straighter, healthier smile. 12 months, no interest, no down payment financing available at corinthdental.com. Pinpoint Commercial Real Estate is based out of Jackson. They service the entire state in all commercial asset classes such as industrial, retail, office, medical, and land. BB Mitchell with Pinpoint is your guy. He provides a plethora of commercial real estate services. Core focus is sourcing investment properties for his clients. For all of your commercial real estate needs, give BB a call, 601-934-5008. And we're brought to you by Southern Traditions Farm. It's a 68-acre, 32-stall, upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. It's also a great place for get-togethers, parties, reunions, that kind of thing. Get in touch with Southern Traditions Farm on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm.
See where the NFL sent Bruce Arians a letter over his sideline conduct on Sunday.
No, what did he do?
If he does it again, he and the team will be disciplined. Ooh. Well, the Bucs and Saints have started bickering constantly about everything. It's quickly, frankly, overtaken the Falcons for the ones that the Saints are rubbed the wrong way about the most.
Yeah.
And they started off arguing about seating. The Bucs said that they did not give Arians and another executive who I cannot remember. Remember, Arians stepped down in March. For anybody, he's not the current coach of the Bucs. Seating in the press box or the area up there. The Saints goes, no, he had it. He didn't use it. So they've been arguing about whether or not the Bucs executives had seating in the Superdome. And then Arians was seen kind of in the bench area for most of the game. And then when Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans got into it, it resulted in ejections for both players and ultimately a one-game suspension for Evans. Arians had moved to the area where the officials and coaches are standing and is losing his mind as an executive. And the NFL said, nope, that is not allowed. We will We will punish you moving forward. And now, look, is it going to happen again? No. I mean, that's not really a whatever. But for a team that is 1-1, that week 2 loss for the Saints showed every wart and every problem and went, ew.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I'm not haunted by this because they have the Super Bowl. They've won a lot of games. It's been fun for a long time. But I think there's an argument that we always talk about Bush and all that different stuff, but from a draft standpoint, the one move that absolutely changed the Saints franchise is whatever year the draft was and Kansas City sliding in front of New Orleans. Because this defense, with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback, the Saints would have had at least one more title already. And they would be a contender for the next 5 years.
They would have gotten out of the Breeze thing a lot earlier and would have freed up money to do things on the roster.
All kinds of stuff.
The Drew Brees bill has come due.
The Saints had the 11th pick, and when it got to 10, they were taking Mahomes if he was there and Lattimore if he wasn't. And the Chiefs traded up to 10 to grab Mahomes one spot ahead of the Saints at that point. Now, obviously, they didn't know Mahomes was going to be an all-pro or whatever, but he was the only quarterback they had
Sean
tagged.
Payton did.
Let's say he watched him work out. They immediately got on the plane and went, that's our quarterback. I'm not going to go look at another one. I don't need to see the other. I'm going to stick with my evaluation here. I don't want to cloud my mind. Mahomes is the guy if we're taking somebody at 11.
So their mistake was not
trading up a couple
getting
spots.
To 8 or something.
Whatever. And they said the draft went funny. They thought Lattimore was going to go earlier. And then when he didn't, they sort of convinced themselves, worst case is still okay. We can grab Lattimore right there. And kind of failed to make that extra move.
Yeah.
And that changed everything at that point.
Because in that league, if you think there's a quarterback that's your guy, you just got to go get him. You just have to go get him and pay whatever the price is.
Because whatever you paid to move a couple spots, you're saving that money off of Breeze right there.
Right.
So it's a wash. You'd have been fine.
And Drew at the end was done.
Yeah, sure. It might have been a little more tense or something, but it'd been all right. And I get that he was his worst version, but Jameis was awful.
He was bad. They play at Carolina Sunday, and I like Carolina in that game. They've looked more dependable than the Saints. And look, it's not Sean Payton on the sideline anymore.
No, and that's not nothing.
No, it's something. In this league, it's something.
Yeah.
It's a lot of something. Coaching really matters in the NFL, in football, in sports. But it really matters in the NFL. Just there's that air around certain teams built on the coach and the quarterback. And so when your coach and quarterback is Dennis Allen and Jameis Winston, that's not Sean Payton, Drew Brees.
I mean, look, that is a very valid point. At some point, it might have been on Dennis Allen to go, hey, we're going to play Andy Dalton because Jameis Winston is playing with 4 fractures in his back.
Sure.
I'm going to give Winston somewhat of a pass, but at the end of the day, he's still the quarterback out there. That was the Saints' decision to play him.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he was
They put him on the field. So if you put him on the field, your medical people have determined that he can not only play, but he can play effectively. And at that point, it becomes an organizational issue when he can't. Period.
I'd be really nervous if I had those Saints over-unders for an over at 8.5 right now.
I'd have to see this weekend.
I don't want to overdo it. Played the Bucs, lost by 10, whatever.
Yep. But you start 0.
Defense is really good.
You start 0-3 and it gets.
Well, you're 1-1. You beat the Falcons.
Oh, that's right. They're 1-1. They're okay.
They survived the Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not about record. Just
the way they look.
What you saw.
I want to see Sunday against Carolina. That game's in Charlotte, I think.
I think so. I'm pulling up odds because I'm just curious.
I think it's Carolina +2.
+2.
Or 2.5.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong.
So your odds for NFL this week: Cleveland minus 4.5 at home against Pittsburgh is your Thursday night game. Sunday, New England plus 3 at home against Baltimore. Kansas City minus 6.5 at Indianapolis.
It's a trick.
Chicago minus 3 at home against Houston. How about the Texans? Minnesota minus 6 against Detroit. I don't like Detroit on the road. Kind of keep it close there.
Minnesota feels like a team that's going to be really good at home.
Yeah. Las Vegas minus 2.5 at Tennessee.
Ooh,
it's a must-win for the Raiders.
Both teams.
Yeah. The loser of that is in deep trouble.
That would be an intense game. I think the Raiders are a better team.
Mm-hmm. New Orleans minus 3 at Carolina.
Okay.
Buffalo minus 5.5 at Miami.
Ooh. What's our Thursday night game?
Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Okay.
I like Buffalo. I get Miami's 2-0. I understand. I get they had the big comeback against Baltimore. I still think that line is a point or two too small because of what Miami did on Sunday.
And it might be that deal, kind of like with Alabama and Georgia when they're great in football. You just go, I don't care how many points I'm laying them.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a couple of times, but you're going to win more than you lose.
Yeah, that feels Buffalo on the road there. Cincinnati minus 5 at the Jets. That is a must-win for the Bengals on Sunday.
Yep. I don't know.
Philadelphia minus 6.5 at Washington.
Philly looked really, really good. And so you get this, and they did it on national TV, so you get this reaction to it. But the Commanders have looked very competent. 6.5 points is a lot of points.
It is. Home, NFL, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Chargers minus 7 against the Jags in L.A.
I'm just going to tell you, I love the Jags plus 7.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Green Bay plus 1.
Because if you're LA, for the Chargers, you've got to protect Herbert.
Oh, well, sure.
So you're kind of conservative.
Tampa Bay minus 1.5 at home against Green Bay on Sunday.
I think I like the Bucs minus the 1.5.
Brady taking Wednesdays off for personal time starting now. Every Wednesday. He doesn't need the practice, but
he feels like the guy that has a lot of reservations about the decision that he has made.
Oh, he does. I think that's.
He wishes that he had.
I think that's completely fair.
Wishes that he had just not done this.
Sure. And now he has to kind of get through the.
He got hit a bunch in that first game. He woke up the next day. He felt terrible.
He's got all the home stuff going on.
He's about to wreck his marriage. And he has kids in that marriage.
Yeah,
but
sure.
everybody does the thing, oh, she's Giselle, she's a supermodel. It's more than that. It's also the mother of his children.
No, this is a deep issue.
You always wonder, like, why could a Tom Brady with his legacy, why can Tom Brady, with all the things going for him in his life, why could he not walk away from football?
It's the same reason why he was so good.
Yeah.
It's a wiring. He has to get over that hump to let it go, and I think he would wake up in a year and go, thank God.
I did it.
But you've got to get to that point.
But
it's almost like the alcoholic who has to completely get off the withdrawals. But he woke up itching and needing the hit.
But he knew that at some point he was going to have to go through it.
Put it off one more year.
Well, then why not? Then join a front office.
I don't want to join the front office. Wants to play.
But now you're doing this deal where you're not there on Wednesday.
Oh, I know.
And your teammates look around and go, you can put the C on your jersey, but you're not here.
Yeah.
I'd like to go hang out with my kids.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen my girlfriend?
Yeah.
I'd like to go hang out on Wednesday with her instead of being in here in meetings all day.
Yeah.
Getting beat up.
Oh,
my girlfriend would love for me to take her to lunch today.
It's a problem.
If they start losing, it's a problem. As long as you win, people shut up.
Sure.
But man, let him take a loss where he gets 3 picks. Because not everybody in that locker room's reverent to Tom Brady, I'm guessing. Yeah, and he does look like he's lost a lot of weight, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you seen him? He looks lean, really lean, like maybe more lean than he wants to look.
Brady said this week he felt more sore than usual after games.
Mm-hmm. He's how old? 45?
I will say here, though, it says that I didn't know this. It's a fairly common practice. It says he is not the only Buccaneer that get the veteran treatment for this, for Wednesdays is the day they don't have to take reps. But it is different when it's your quarterback and it's your guy and it's and everybody's aware of the other things.
Sure.
If you've never done it before, then suddenly you're doing it. Why? That's more the thing.
Because his whole deal in New England was, I'm going to outwork everybody in this room.
Yeah.
And it became a thing where people tried to outwork him.
Yeah.
And it meant everybody just grinded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rams minus 3.5 at Cardinals on Saturday.
Don't hate that.
That's your 325 national game.
I don't hate that.
Atlanta plus 2 against Seattle in Seattle. Seattle giving a point or two. Whatever.
Woof.
San Francisco minus 1.5 at Denver. Interesting game. It's an interesting game.
I don't hate the road dog.
I don't either. No, I know. And then your Monday night, that's a Sunday night game, actually. And then your Monday game is Dallas and Giants. Dallas plus 2.5 at New York.
I don't hate the
Giants trying to get 3-0.
I don't hate the Cowboys and the points there.
Okay.
And the Giants are 2-0, but.
And then we're looking way ahead, but our next Thursday night game is Dolphins at Bengals. So.
Well.
Got that one.
I'm gonna be a little distracted.
Cincinnati minus 1 is your early line on that one.
So you better bring some
bring
some juice because I'm gonna be staring.
Yeah. All right.
Unless we're 0-3, at which point I'm like, screw it.
God help you guys. Thank you for hanging in throughout this podcast today. We appreciate you as always. CoverageRebelGrove.com. A lot of different stuff. More to you as the day goes on. Again, Brian's podcast is there. Pretty good Buchanan free story, by the way. You probably should listen for that and more. So let me know, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Win the day.